Hello, today I'm here to present propaganda and media. This was what my project should be about. In this video, I will tell you what propaganda is, how it affects us, and some of the things that are used in media and what they do to try to control us. I'll also show you a short video on how that all takes place. But without further ado, let's move into the video. Well, propaganda is a form of communication aimed towards to influence the attitudes of the population towards a certain cause or position. You might see this more recently with the Paris attacks. People are kind of moving towards, well, quite frankly, the ban of Muslims. That has been one of the opening talking points for a lot of Republican candidates in the race. So when you have these things that come out, and they're not saying Muslims are bad, but they're giving the implication that they are, it does help to influence people and look at people of just that religion in a darker light than they might do usually. So propaganda can almost be found in everything from, news, advertising, public relations, education, daily life. It can be found all over the place. Really, no one is safe from this. Propaganda is used to brainwash people. Like I said earlier, it is used to try to take control of people, change their thought process, how they view people, and it can be used for good or bad. Right now, the mainstream media, you kind of see it used for bad. Some examples of it can be character assassination, fear mongering. Fear mongering is one I kind of want to touch on a little heavier because what I think fear mongering is the most despicable and disgusting one of all, for the fact of that as a news station you go out there and you put out these false facts and about maybe a specific group or a stereotype, and then you demonize them. It's almost in a sense it's almost taking their life away. So making everyone scared of a specific group or race, what does that do for them? They walk somewhere, somebody is scared of them, and they're great, good-hearted people. It just takes so much out of people's opportunity based on their ethnicity. Next, you're going to see a video explaining 7 techniques that propaganda is used in the mainstream media.
In no particular order. 1. Name calling, also known as stereotyping. This would be when you invent a name to call someone to help dismiss their credibility. Tree hugger, Republican, Democrat, conspiracy theorist. 2, and this is a pet peeve of mine, as you know very well, Matt, and I'm sorry that you have to hear all the rants about this. The virtue words, the glittering generalities. Oh, values. What about our values, our morals, things like that? And heart, right? Not the worst of Captain Planet crew, but I mean when people say, "Oh, we put a little heart into our values," next thing you know, boom, there's another war. Number 3, the good old testimonial. When you want to get people on board with something that you're doing, and you don't want to looking at the facts too closely, why not have an authoritative person just say that they also like it? It doesn't have to just be Morgan Freeman. It could also be the Dalai Lama, or if you could get the Pope, though I imagine that's kind of difficult. These testimonials make people more attracted just to the idea of the person presenting the information rather than the information itself. 4, transfer. Now, if testimonials are depending upon the credibility of a person, then transfer depends upon the credibility or the unlikability of an institution. This is a guilt by association thing or a street cred by association thing. You see a statement that sounds kind of weird. I'll just make one up. Eating hay bales turns out to be good for your heart. And this statement was found by a study conducted through the Northeastern Regional Farmers and Doctors Association. Be very careful when you hear an unfamiliar group authoritatively condoning something. 5, the bandwagon. Everybody else is doing it, right? So why can't we? Or, hey, all the smart people are doing this, and you better get in now, buddy, before time runs out. And 6, and I love this one, the name of it at least, Plain Folks. You know, just plain old-fashioned folks putting food on the family dinner table and just trying to make our way and be a good, conscientious citizen and just do the right thing. It's just the right thing to do. The idea here is that you will be suckered in by the argument that the common man unanimously understands this. Another phrase like, you know, it's just common sense. Why don't the guys in Washington get that? Elect me. Now, these are just a few of the propaganda techniques that are commonly used in countries.
Alright, as you have just seen, the video told you some techniques that people do use, and the guy, is that lighting that bad? Wait a minute. Okay, no it's not. No it's not. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut that out if I can. Oh, this is going over. Anyway, so what you'll have to understand is the fact that media will be tried to use to control your brain. So before you post anything or tell anybody facts, double check and make sure that it's right, because as you've just found out, they will use this to, you know, construe your point of view, persuade you to do things, and just all while trying to make you ignorant. So that's all the time that I have. Just watch out for propaganda in the media. Be sure to, you know, make it a priority to educate yourself before you say anything or put anything out there in the world, and that's what will make you a better person.